Well, hello, fairies! Welcome back to another stream of Alice Mercury Playtime! How are we doing tonight? I just can't get over the fact that Stream Elements has one of my badges because of the sub. It's amazing, it's hilarious. Just give me one sec. Dude. Okay, just give me one second. Welcome to everyone who has been arriving on my stream. Welcome. Oh, my beautiful wife is first in shot tonight. Hello, baby Bowie cutie. Hello, wifey. How are you doing tonight? I lost a bet tonight. No, just today. Last night. And I cannot say no to that, so yeah. Where is the rat? Well, the rat is usually late. Give it like 15 minutes and he'll be here at much. Or like, that's the media. You can wait longer or shorter to that. Well, now that I see you, my beautiful little wife. Little? What do you mean? I am taller than you, and I'm older than you. Excuse me. You take that back, or at least give me an explanation of what you mean by that. Well, with that, leaving that on aside, welcome guys, welcome to everyone. Just give me 1 second over here. Yeah. What are we going to do tonight? Well, first of all, welcome to the T1 stream. A stream dedicated to everyone, but it's basically selected by T1 fairies, just like Stream Elements, which they normally decide what to do every Thursday. And 2 weeks ago, they decided for Horror Videos Night, and they decided me to watch the Monument Mythos. If you don't remember what that is, it's not really an analog horror series. It's more about like mystery and suspense about, how do they call it? Alternative dimensions and alternative monsters that live inside the American monuments for some reason. Because yes, the monuments, at least in this universe, are built with a mechanism that attracts them in order to get rid of like immigrants and other quote-unquote undesired people. It's very political, it's very interesting because they do mix real USA story with this concept, and that is very interesting. More than scary, it actually brings us a lot of topics to discuss about. However, we still need a lot to watch these videos, and if we want to do more than one stuff these Tuesdays, if we don't want to be stuck in Monument Mythos for the next months, we need to hurry a little bit with it. I mean, oh no, never mind. You guys said actually that the pacing of that video was actually fine to you. Okay, never mind. Then let's just keep enjoying it. I forgive you, but you have to obey me until midnight. Yes, darling, I am at your service. So yeah, I had a little punishment on hand. And why? You may be asking why. In case you actually missed the stream of yesterday, there was a fairy that challenged me to not die in Blasphemous for the rest of the stream. That was like half an hour. And literally 2 minutes before time was out, I fucking died because awful map made me fall down, and I died. I was about to win. It's fine. It's fine. If you think about it, Ivy never wins with me, so it was her time to enjoy this a little bit. Just for tonight. Oh yeah, and of course the punishment is that if I lost, I was going to be submissive to my submissive wife. Can you believe that? I love winning bets. I bet you do. Let's go to gaming. Alrighty, everything's working so good so far. Awesome! Fuck, I was already showing YouTube screen with this. Give me 1 second. Oh, there it is. You're not supposed to see that. You're supposed to watch this. Yeah. That joke. Baby. Hey, okay, if you need to know something more about myself, baby, is that I love to make puns and very white jokes, okay? You gotta forgive me for it. I cannot change it. You cannot change my silly jokes. Alright. So background music's off now. Yippity ki hey. So a little catch up of what happened in the Monument Mythos. Well, they've been killing a lot of people with this. Bob Dylan was president in this universe. Was it him or was it someone else? I don't remember. But like the most interesting thing that has happened yet is that a girl precisely in Christmas time, she tried to put like a star on a very weird tree that was apparently like a portal to the alternate dimension. She invited her friends for help, and now they are all trapped in an alternate dimension where, yeah, they have their families, but everything is different. Plus, their anatomy is upside down. So, okay, that must be extremely existential dready, you know? I love it. It doesn't matter. I love you in every way possible. Thank you, baby. I didn't know anything about those videos. It is the first time I've seen them. Yes, I think you weren't there what is it? 2 weeks ago. Yes, I do remember you were not there. But yeah, if you ever have a question, just ask me, baby. And I can explain to you everything. Okay, so next one. Hopefully we can continue that storyline of the girl. But if not, we'll see. Anyhow, next video is called Canyon Crown, the Monument Mythos. Let me activate the desktop audio. Let's enjoy this. Just 4 minutes. Oh wow, now we are pretending these are 2010s or early 2000s edits. That's amazing. Okay. It looks boring. I'm not a fan of this deserts, and I live in one. Me and my brother deep in thought. I just love how all these pictures actually look very like livestock pictures. They don't really look homemade. He's gonna fly. Then I saw something really weird. Ooh, a UFO! Kinda. It made the whole place smell like vinegar. Oh my god, I hate that smell. Happy music happening all along. Love, I live in the desert too. I know, baby. Let's move to Oregon or somewhere in England. Those are my dream places. What is your dream place, baby? Rock on. What the? Too cheesy. Then I saw it again. Oh, sorry, that was my mistake. I pressed the button. Yeah, and then I saw it again. Let's see. Why they always gotta be so fucking blurry? But at the same time, if I ask myself, why is this so HD? Then it would also be non-believable for me. Either way, I will never be satisfied with this shit. Ain't that a hiker though? What's that? Oh, squinting my eyes as best as I can. Yo, that was Godzilla over there. Norway, Alaska, and another place I don't want to mention because every time I do, I regret it. Why would you regret naming a place? Caution, sheer cliff. Control your children and pets. Oh no, we're gonna die. Aw, Mr. Squirrel. We did a little research and found out what we saw. It's called a canyon gallon or a canyon crown. It uses vinegar to shrink its huge head back into its body. Huh? My dad said the reason we went on this trip was so he could find his sister Maya. What? What? I think that was Maya. What? Well, why is she headless? I don't understand this. What? I know, what? Head off. Like, wow, that was totally intentional. The Appalachian Mountains. I think it's the first time that I heard about that place. Where is that from? Thanks for watching! My Crazy Green Canyon Adventure, written by Lauren Arnold. Yeah, YouTube video editing was like that. Hey, Leo is in chat. Hello again. Hello, Leo. Welcome to Horror Videos Night Session, courtesy of T1 Theories. This is the second part of us watching this analog horror called The Monument Mythos. Have you heard about it? This is so fucking weird. I wish Xerison was here because he will give me at least some foreshadowing about what just happened. Now why are there headless people out there? Anyway, next video is called Freedom Faller. Part 1, Sculptor. Excerpts from a series of exchange from 1858. What is happening? In short terms, it's about interdimensional monsters that hide within American monuments because these monuments have mechanisms to attract them, and that's how they get rid of people like immigrants and other quote-unquote undecided people. So yeah, it's quite political horror. Washington DC, Livorno, Italy. Alfonso Safino. Thomas Montgomery Mays. Liberty must stand on the Capitol Dome. Yes, I will find an artist to bring this statue to life. Oh, Morse code. Will you provide a design for the statue? Most certainly. Oh, the monument mythos! So we have freedom 1, 2, and 3. You cannot see it because I forgot to move the place of my typical again, sorry. It's a mountain range located in eastern North America that stretches from the island of Newfoundland in Canada and to Alabama in the United States. It's supposed to be a very, very eerie place. Why would you regret that? That sounds interesting. I would like to go with you, baby. In fact, I would love to go anywhere as long as it's with you. Freedom 3 will do, but change her cap. I will remove the cap and begin to cast. In general, I would like to move to Oregon because I am in love with North America. Because that is like the most typical, like, suburban type of living where you live in a small town surrounded just by nothing but woods. You just have to drive like half an hour to get to the town, to the city, to buy groceries and to be like in business, to eat a burger maybe. And I want that kind of life. I would like that kind of life. Especially because Tijuana is a big city, a very big industrial city. Therefore, it's filled with contamination of all types, noise, and just in general, like fabrics and factories everywhere. I want to get out of the big town now. I would like to have a calm, boring life with my beloved wife, Ivy. What do you say, baby? And in a vacation, we go to Alaska and we... No, where do you say it was? Yeah, we go to those mountains you said about. 6 weeks later. Freedom is difficult to cast. Apologies for delays. Me during commissions. You probably love that place, really. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, if it's already eerie, I'm definitely gonna love it. I love eerie places. Because I love the danger, you know what I mean? Is Freedom on her way? Inspector Safinu speaking. Mr. Crawford passed away. Monarcha will receive freedom. Expect arrival in a month, said the detective. Is it analog horror or not? It is analog horror, but it's not as creepy as others analog horror. This is more political horror. Part 2, Daughter. Text and illustrations by Nina Crawford. Read by... I don't care. So, okay, the sculpture of the monument mythos died mysteriously. Wow.
5 aprile. Gli schizzi di Papino della Libertà sono stupendi. Lei assomiglia alla mamma se fosse una regina. Ho chiesto a Papino se potesse fare una statua che mi somigliasse. Ha detto sì. 10 aprile. Oggi Papino...
I will go anywhere with you too. Oh, baby. I accept. Yes, I win. Very inexplicable things happen. Many people disappear. You shouldn't go out at night. If there's someone outside your house, don't open the door. There are Wendigos, ghosts, terrifying things. Heck yeah, that's gonna be your last adventure, baby.
è andato al suo studio. E ho chiesto se avesse già iniziato a lavorare alla mia statua ed ha continuato a sorridermi. Io credo di sì. Papino è molto gentile. 13 aprile.
Whistling is forbidden because it attracts bad things. God, that sounds so fucking scary. I changed my mind. It's not like exploring an abandoned place. It's exploring a haunted place. Nah. I mean, I love you, baby. Like... Wait, hey, we haven't heard from Papa for a few days. It has happened before. He likes to work in the studio for a long time. Mama was very worried today.
Molto preoccupata. È andata
For real, the last adventure.
sul studio dove avermi messo a letto. 15 aprile. Mamma è tornata a casa stanotte e è andata dritta verso la sostanza. 16 aprile. Oggi è venuto l'ispettore. Ci ha chiesto di papino e poi è andato nella stanza della mamma. Un paio di minuti dopo sono arrivati più uomini. Mamma stava piangendo. Continuava a gridare. Lei ha i suoi occhi.
I did not read the full
Mamma
stuff.
stava piangendo.
Moments later, more men showed up. Mama was crying. She kept yelling, "She has his eyes! She has his eyes!"
I suoi occhi. Lei ha i suoi occhi. Ero spaventata. Sono scappata via dalla casa. 18 aprile.
I need the rat to show up. I have something to give it. I kind of think what you're talking about, baby. Anniversary is over.
E ricordo papino dire alla mamma come la statua sarebbe stata messa in una nave chiamata Monarca. Sono andata al porto e l'ho trovata ancorata là vicino. Accanto alla nave c'erano alcune scatole. Parti della
Sorry, I think you guys are definitely not enjoying this at all. I mean, because of the box over here. Let me change it real quick. Overlays. You can see my progress over here. It's in all this gaming. Yeah. This is where I did my overlays. So yeah, let's move this one over here. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna bother in this place. Now let's save it, and there we go. It's finally fixed. Yay, you can finally read subtitles now.
libertà erano in ciascuna di esse. Mi sono intrufolata in una scatola che era vuota. Spero che venga mandato dove sta papino. Sento il suo spirito vicino alla libertà. 21 aprile. Sono molto affamata.
The girl got into the boxes. Oh my gosh.
Le scatole sono legate con una corda, quindi non posso uscire da sola. C'è un forte rumore nella stanza, come dell'argilla trascinata per il pavimento. Posso sentire le corde che vengono tagliate e qualcosa di grosso uscire da una scatola. È papino? Ci sono molti altri suoni, come legno che si rompe. Dato che le corde sono rotte, sono uscita in fretta dalla scatola ed ho trovato del pane e della frutta nella stanza accanto. Mi sono sbagliata. Non è papino, ma ha i suoi occhi. 24 aprile. Ho paura a rientrare di nuovo nella scatola. Ieri ha fatto suoni più rumorosi. Mentre cercavo per del cibo, credo che mamma mi abbia vista. La scatola è l'unico posto per nascondersi.
Yeehaw!
Le corde continuano ad essere rotte da quella cosa con gli occhi di papino. Ho paura che quella cosa...
For the channel Dr. Knower, what is it? Another analog horror creator?
o quell'uomo possano aprire la mia scatola. Non scriverò più molto, perché ho paura di fare rumore. Scriverò nuovamente quando arriverò sulla terraferma. 29 aprile. La cosa con gli occhi di papà oggi mi ha presa. Mi ha tenuta mentre correva attraverso la giungla. La sua spada ha tagliato centinaia di alberi. Non ho potuto vedere molto nel buio, ma ho potuto vedere gli occhi di papà fissarmi da quelle palpebre metalliche. Siamo scesi.
Are we now dealing with doppelgangers? If I have a coin for every time analog horror is based upon doppelgangers, I will be fucking millionaire.
Giù per un buco e in una grotta profonda. Dopo avermi messo a terra, ha acceso un fuoco colpendo le sue braccia contro delle pietre. Ormai è da ore che affila la sua spada con le rocce, ma non ho mai guardato la lama. Oggi
But, yes. Well, I mean, it's just that Fairy's already voted for this one. But if you want me to watch that on the next horror videos night, you should definitely vote. But voting only comes with subscriptions. Yeah.
sin da quando ho iniziato a scrivere, la cosa con gli occhi di papino ha fissato me.
I am very impatient. I mean, why don't you tag X0 Zone from Discord and be spamming him or something? Part 3, Captain, excerpts from the Captain's log of the Monarca.
19 aprile. 6 casse sono state caricate all'alba. Sono pesanti. Ciascuna di esse contiene una parte di una grossa scultura. 29 aprile. Siamo a Terre di Gibraltar all'alba. La nave ci ha messo ore per approdare nel porto. C'erano molti buchi neri postiglio. Ciascuno di essi ha permesso ad enormi quantità d'acqua di entrare. Senza il catrame saremmo affondati in 3 giorni. Abbiamo aperto le casse per gli ufficiali della dogana. Le casse erano vuote.
Gibraltar. Am I lost? I already did it, and I did it privately. Oh, baby, then I'm sorry. There's nothing else you can do. Let's just hope the best for him. He is taking a while, I do give you that. But hopefully he appears soon. Part 4, Commissioner. Written and read by Commissioner H. Morgan. Yeah.
On the morning of April 29th, we received numerous reports regarding a tremendous force that rushed up the rock, which tore down hundreds of trees and created several landslides throughout the previous night. One civilian likened the phenomena to the work of a gigantic crazed fella. Due to the sheer number of reports and the high level of concern in the surrounding community, I deployed myself along with 13 officers to the rock in search of an explanation. We discovered that there was indeed a newly forged trail through the dense foliage stretching almost the entire height of the rock. The trail was astonishingly linear, with no bends in the path. The cuts to the trees themselves were precise. The downed trees continued to be warm to the touch, presumably due to the extreme speed of this force. A few fires present along the trail were extinguished by fellow officers as we traversed the rock. The path ended at a large crevice in the ground, which looked to be an entrance to a large underground cavern. After requesting additional men and equipment, Officer Hadley descended into the crevice. It was not long until Hadley exclaimed in fright and urged us all to enter. Within the following hour, the majority of us were in the cavern, which appeared to be an undiscovered offshoot of St. Michael's Cave. In the middle of the location stood a plaster model of a tall Greco-Roman statue of a woman. Surrounding this sculpture were the splayed remains of an individual, flattened like a set of clothes. A hollowed-out torso was stretched a quarter of the way up the statue, the sight of which compelled a few of the officers to exit the cavern. The human remains were collected and sent to the morgue, while the sculpture was cleaned and lifted out.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Blade, held in its right hand, matched the cuts present on the downed trees. Despite the fantastical implications of this detail, the Gibraltar police force officially concludes that the work of the crazed fella was nothing more than the result of heavy winds. During a secondary investigation, a journal was discovered in the cavern. A translation of its Italian text is in progress.
I'm too impatient. I know, baby. But what's the rush? It's not like he's not gonna join anymore. Leonel, you should come to the Twitch chat. Baby! Why do you have the impulse of just doing that to anyone? Why, baby? I mean, that's so sweet of you, but why? The bots scare me. What the hell? How can a bot scare you? It does not even do sound. Why not? Well, okay. Well, how can I even question that from my beautiful one-night alpha? Huh. Part 5, Craftsman, Freedom.
Arrives the tight-knit wooden ship. The plaster body is absent. Instead, a tall, wounded woman sleeping in its vessel, donning a helmet wrapped in a robe. clutching a sword and a damaged shield. Overheard a conversation with the captain, a violent conflict with Freedom at the port in Gibraltar. They tell me inside her is the blaster, and I walk away, silently believing Freedom craved liberation so terribly she tried to take it for herself. But off the ship, she was dragged away. Freedom locked up. Freedom in chains. They tell me I have to take it out of her. So hook, rope, peel, and pull. When it was done, Freedom stood motionless. Freedom stood still. I see the final bronze woman, and I feel as if, maybe even hope, she's only dormant now and will awaken again.
That's in my Omega. Enjoy it, girl. It feels so odd to me. It's like going against my nature. It's like taking a fish out of water and be like, you be like that for a day. It feels so off. Part 6, Sculptor. Anti-Dean storms Capitol. Millions look on in horror during attack on democracy. We're back on Dean. The Statue of Freedom is shut down by Ada gunfire. Oh, you can see the statue falling down there. This is where I need Xeroson to be here, especially because he's American. So in the White Palace, at the very top of it, there is the Statue of Freedom. How is it different from the Statue of New York? Oh my god! Ratty is here! Wait, what was that? What was that? Freedom Faller. Everyone gives an Xeroson a Mercury subscription. Are you happy now, baby? You finally did what you wanted to do. Yeah, for real. Thank you for the subscription, baby. You don't have to do it, but it's always so great that you do it. Short circuit. Yeah, don't mention it. Rabbit gets stressed. Hello. Yay, finally. Calms down. Now you're finally chill. Cool. What? You see, Xeroson, Ivy was so impatient for your arrival to the stream of tonight because she wanted to give you a subscription so bad. Now back to Freedom Faller. Now this video implies that statues come to life in a way, or at least are possessed by spirits or something. Yeah. Lionel is just there enjoying the analog horror. Yeah, I was watching Chainsaw Man movie. How was it? This next video is very short. It's called it's just a teaser of season 2. Why the U in Monument Mythos? Why is that relevant? You as in you are next. Yeah, okay. I cry watching the movie. I don't know if it's the movie, but I've been seeing that there is a big art trend that I actually wanted to do with Ivy and Alice, where two characters inside a pool or something. I don't know if it's from that movie or something else. Yeah. It seemed like the discovery of America, you think? That's an interesting theory. Peak, Reese didn't deserve dead. I will too prefer to be the field mouse. I don't know, you guys keep discussing the movie, you haven't watched it, and honestly, I haven't even watched Chainsaw Man, so yeah. So this new video is called Corner Baby. And we arrive on set at 12 p.m. on September 21st, 2021. Happy music. We painted the wall for 4 hours. The set was inside a former nursery. Many of its windows were broken. Will you fix them? While we were painting, someone parked their car at the entrance. Flynn noticed someone in the car.
Do it again. Okay, I don't believe you. I don't believe you for a second.
Oh, flip the bottle trend.
What? What is it?
No. You know what it is.
Why? What is it?
Do you want to come through here?
Why? Is there someone outside?
No, so I might be seeing things, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on in this car.
What? Where am I looking at?
Next to the rear view window. Rear view mirror.
I called the police immediately. I just saw a doll.
Rear view mirror.
Sepa la madre, ¿qué es eso? I called the police immediately. They said it wasn't the first time they broke the windows there to recover children? Huh? Where's music? The nursery doesn't exist anymore. I don't understand. Like, one video you told me that there were like some creatures. There were some creatures, headless creatures there on the fucking desert. Then you tell me that apparently possessed statues come to life, and now you tell me whatever the hell is this? Kidnapped children? And now and this nursery was supposed to be like a location for that? For whatever they wanted to do? And that's why they had to shut it down? Destroy it? Demolish it? I don't get it! I feel like every video is about something different. I don't connect the dots here. Hey, Marsh is also in chat. What are we watching? We are watching The Monument Mythos, an analog horror series that is more like political analog horror. Yeah. Have you watched it before? Were you here 2 weeks ago? That's where we watched the first part of this. Gonna teach Alice how to swim, perhaps, Doc? I will teach her to swim and give her such a pure moment that she will forget all the bad things. Then I will die at the hands of a demon obsessed with her. That sounded so wholesome until the dead part. Well, joke's on you, baby. I already know how to swim. I'm pieces. I mean, that has nothing to do with it, but it's a coincidence. I know how to swim, and that's my favorite sport, by the way. My only and favorite sport. I don't know. I don't understand, but I like hearing Alice talk about the video. It's about interdimensional monsters that live inside American monuments to kill people. Huh? I don't get it. Hug me, Rat. I'll cry. Hey, Ratty, don't hug my wife. Okay, I'm jealous and only she can hug me, okay? Hell no, I'm completely lost. Yeah, me too, even though I watch all videos so far. Sadly, I'm not good with hugs, Doc. You can hug, but I won't. That was a smart decision. It's your son. And Lionel be like, oh, the fuck, ya terminamos nadar, que pedo, Alice? Are you even surprised at this point? Every time we have more and more coincidences. I don't really like physical contact. I only mention it because that's how you read the vibe. Or only because you want to make me jealous on purpose. Is that it, baby? Anyway, kidnapping children. That's what I get from this video. Next one is called... It's called what? It cannot be... the first one was called Corner Baby. This one is called Corner Girl. I don't trust this.
Now let's learn about the sides and corners of different shapes.
I just moved luggage.
A side or an edge is a line segment that joins two adjacent corners of a shape.
Alex Bay's Riley Tylone on me?
A corner or vertex is the point where the two sides...
Whoa, what's that? Oh. She was luggage.
Let's look at this triangle.
You are luggage too.
It has
Luggage is so easy to lose.
1, 2, 3. It also has 3 corners.
Watch the what? There was a quick message there.
It also has
Watch the corners. Guys, watch the corners to see if we find something different.
3 corners.
Alright, because they say from the beginning that these interdimensional monsters are like very hyperfixated with corners for some reason.
1,
Sincerely, Alex inspiration.
2,
Mysterious. What is this? Okay, so we're back from square zero again when they told us that these interdimensional monsters are fixated with corners because I don't know what physical explanation, metaphysical explanation they gave us to explain that that was practically the portal to these monsters. And now... Why did a woman is luggage? Yeah. Quiet, baby. He'll sort it out in bed. Yes, baby. The only physical contact I like is that of your body with mine. Tell me about it. I am so much into physical contact, but nothing compares to your body rubbing mine. Look, church bells. I hate that noise. There are no church bells here. Oh, you mean at your home, I suppose. Damn, lady. There's there's a church nearby, and I always hear those damn bells. They actually, I mean, for me, they do bring me good childhood memories of listening to them in the background as well. I don't know, they were good to me. But, yeah. Should we leave, give you guys some space? I don't know, ask Ivy, because I am not in charge tonight. Only contact I like is touching my controller and playing kids. And everything you put in your mouth. That sounded very bad, but I meant like everything that you put in your mouth. Don't worry, you can say what? Hey, yo! Yikes, baby! You're on fire tonight! Alright. Next video is called... Macy Movie Maker. Before you can finish brushing your teeth, before you can finish showering, I did not shower today, guys. Before you can finish getting dressed, or undressed for Ivy, before you can finish breakfast, before you can finish the morning paper, popcorn will be ready. Popcorn! What's your favorite popcorn flavor? Mine is white cheddar. With a startup time just under 60 seconds, Popcorn Prime is the fastest what? The fastest personal computer on Earth. Popcorn Prime! I wouldn't expect a computer to be called popcorn. Your popcorn is waiting. Mace. Yes, anything that smells good. Damn, just like that? I mean, okay. You know complaining though. That explains the smell. Yeah, if you scratch the screen, you can smell me. Alice lost a bet yesterday and now she's my submissive. Yeah, that is true. Maze manufacturing plant from 60 from 71. How is wrong with... Okay. Why do you guys have a pattern for all these locations? My favorite flavor is popcorn, normal. Actually, standard popcorn flavor is butter, not popcorn. Unless you actually like your popcorns unflavored, just with the taste of burned corn. Oh, so that's why. Yeah, butter. I mean, butter is good, but I still prefer cheese flavor. So butter popcorn, yeah, practically. Because in general, I mean, as I wrote in myself, I mean, I don't know if hamsters like cheese or anything, but I like to cheese everything. I like cheese on my food, in almost all of my foods and flavors, and yes. I can brag that Alice didn't do anything today. Oh no, it started. She just talked to me and I did everything I told her to. Yes, that did happen. It feels so weird. It's actually triggering in my workaholic needs. But yeah, that did happen. Well, yeah, nothing to excuse there. Mason, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission want you to know about the mandatory recall of all personal computers. Outbreaks reported. Personal computers may pose a risk to what? To American lives and infrastructure. Outbreaks reported. Promptly dispose of your computer at a local hazardous tech collection center. Hazardous? What are these computers made of, if not of radioactive popcorn? Fourth Amendment rights do not apply. Your safety is of the utmost importance to us. Nice. It's not nice. It was torture. Not doing anything is a torture for me. It's good. There was this one different flavor I liked when I went to movies a few years ago. I don't remember the name though. Do you remember the flavor though? How it tasted like? Sweet? Salty? She needed a break. I mean, not really, but here I did whatever my wife wanted me to do. Very well, my dear and adorable Omega. I'm sure you love following my orders. Not really, but I'm giving you the pleasure of doing it. Thank you, Alice. You made me remember. You're welcome. What was it then? Salted caramel. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I haven't tasted that in popcorns, but yeah, salted caramel is always a good combination, especially when you eat, you know, salted sweets. Okay, I'll shut up. In 1960, Maze Machines is founded by Rob Carriers and Rob Watrova. In 1969, nice, President Dean establishes the Department of Technology, uniting all major American computer corporations and allocating billions of dollars towards technological advancement.
Now this delegation pays him this ovation and rises to its feet.
By 1970, Maze produces the first personal video camera and home computer. Ahoy, boy! What do you say? I think you made a mistake and said you didn't like it. Can you say it correctly, my love? Oh my god, this is humiliating. I did like obeying your orders, my love. I totally enjoyed it. You know what else is salty? I mean, what is it, Xerosone? In 1972, Maze collaborated with the Department of Defense to initiate the first system to control the true forces of mass destruction. I definitely knew that this pattern was not unintentional. Project Horn Serpent. That's it, my baby. You really are enjoying yourself today, aren't you, Ivy? Oh, you have no idea. Yes. Yes, she is. It's been pure torture tonight. Today. Inazuma reference. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, baby. In 1980, Maze is attacked. Huh. Oh, yes, my balls. How do you know, though? Come on, it wasn't that bad. You had fun. If you say so, baby. Yes, I had plenty of fun. Yes, a lot of fun. In 1990, the last American personal computer shut down on national television. Toodle-oo! You... What is it, baby? In 2000, We've learned from our mistakes. Control is confidence, and today there are no doubts. Oh, they're gonna put the 9/11 reference. Oh my god, they're gonna put it, aren't they? I mean, it will make sense if they put it. They've been putting everything here. With Maze Movie Maker, you can take control. Maze. Keep denying it and I'll attack you again like I did today. And in front of everyone. Okay, you win, baby. You win. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. Don't do it. I did enjoy it. Yeah, the towers. Oh my god. Exploring under a maze factory. Property of Maze. Fire exit do not block. At first, we spread the word. Beware, the monuments, they are all connected. The military-industrial complex grows. How is it related to a video editor? The cave was very quiet and humid. Why is it always a cave? The air felt charged too. Ooh, alta extrañeza. There were no light fixtures or any pieces of equipment. No animals, not even bugs. It felt so empty. Funny, that's actually how I describe the 80 woods in the labyrinth. As it's an empty woods. There is no animals, no bugs, because air feels so charged with mercury and evil, demonic stuff, devilish stuff that no animal dares to step right in, you know? You know how dangerous it is when it's like that. What happened here? What are you censoring, sir? What? That looks so fucking fake. Bro, you didn't even try. Just put a green screen and key lighted it. What? Do not visit this site. I have not been fed in years. Why is it so electric? My body feels so electric the moment that Ivy lays a finger on me. That was Maze Movie Maker. Ask Alice. In fact, tell Marge what. Oh my. Ivy, don't do this to me. Come on. Tell Marge what happened today, Alice. Tell her how nicely I treated you today. Are you seriously gonna make me do this? Well, you see, Marge. Since I am submissive today, I was forced to be, how do you explain this? I was attacked and defeated with cute and very genuine and caring love. And honestly, that is my weakness, you know? That is my weakness. You can talk all dirty to me and that's only gonna feed my top energy. But if you talk pretty to me, well, it's gonna be my doom practically. So, she almost kills me. She overwhelmed me with love and tender and tender words and cute words and stuff. Whatever. It happened already. So this video is called Sus Canal March. Sus Canal Crab. Yeah, let me hear it read in the chat. What the hell? The campaigns keep going on. Campaigns for what? You mean from the video, baby? I said it already. I need more platinum achievements. Trophy fever for real. I'm hunting the platinum for AC Origins. Wowee. Wowee, Xerson, that sounds very good. Why are you in this stage of getting all the platinums? What got into you? Oh, so Ivy got you good. I'm good. Yeah, she got me good. She almost killed me. It was almost a love fatality. Your cook. I survived, believe it or not. I had to beg for mercy because it was a lot. But now, going back to the video that we just watched, I don't think this analog horror is going this way, honestly. But like government releasing technology reminds me a lot of, again, Greylock files, the Greylock ones, yeah, because there was also a part where government was releasing all these surveillance cameras in quote-unquote order to protect the people from these monsters, but in reality it was all just a strategy to keep them at watch, you know. They were being watched all the time, and I kind of feel that they're doing something similar here. I don't know, like seriously, how far am I from the actual story of this? You're actually the one who knows better from this. Yeah, this rocks. Ever Given what? Ever Given, okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is my submissive song. Oh, what happened? It crashed, I get it. Oh, Clinton is already into the story. Announces nuclear solution. Nuclear solution! For the last 2 weeks, the container ship Ever Given, has obstructed the Suez Canal. With every passing hour, it is costing the global economy over $4,000 million. At the request of the Egyptian president, the United States will end the crisis with nuclear force. Both Congress and the United Nations Security Council have approved the use of a small thermonuclear weapon on the Suez Canal, several miles from the Ever Given's location. The blast itself will not reach the ship. However, the waves generated are expected to dislodge the Ever Given from its present position. Evacuation of the cities along the waterway are in progress. No, they didn't! Oh my god! All this for a truck? What was in the truck? The truck was affected like this. What? Don't know. Just irritated and bored. 70% of the trophies are already collected for Origins. My unemployed friend on a regular Tuesday, I see. What story? It is all new to me. Wait, you don't know about Monument Mythos? All I know is that the government is trying to use the creatures and somehow learn how to get into their realm. Okay, then we're basically in the same phase for now. Twitter machine! aka T machine. What is this here from the 90s. Where did the Ever Given go? Hey, is this why Lionel was putting all this writing? The ship disappeared, according to officials. I was not a truck, it was a ship, of course. It got up and left. Why is everyone confused? Remember the ship that was stuck in the Suez Canal? It just disappeared. Okay. These bits are new to me, is what I'm saying. I understand. Okay. Well, then we are going to a new adventure together. For once, you seem to know all of the games and videos I watch or play. Most of them. The Americans just released a monster! Nobody asked for a sequel to Attack of the Crab Monsters 1967. Is that an actual thing? The Americans destroyed the Suez Canal and released a demon. Great. So is the ship alive? Or is there something underneath it? Suez Canal crab will not be destroyed, says UN Security Council. Yeah, you want them dead, do you? Because, unless I did watch this and I simply forgot because it's been a while. This was made like in 2021 apparently, wasn't it? Wasn't too long ago. Because I think it does look familiar. Could be. For you, in your case. The crab cannot be eliminated without causing great damage to the Ever Given. In this day and age, the world is unprepared for a loss of cargo such magnitude. Therefore, the Suez Canal crab will not be destroyed. At this time, no containers will be lifted from the ship since low-flying aircraft cause the organism to ambulate unsteadily. In hopes of returning the Ever Given back to the sea, efforts are underway to carefully manipulate the crab's route through Egypt. What's the cargo? Another important monument? A goddamn pyramid? Barricade 1. Barricade 2. Cairo. Wow, what is this? Bro trying to speak the American accent. America. Bang, 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 bang. I'm terrified. I just had a terrifying experience. Wait, what happened, baby? Are you okay? Doctor disturbing presence.
Tell me, what do you think about the tower? It's your first visit here, so what do you think about the tower?
I thought it was a really good tower. It was very interesting to go up it. It gave you a really good sense of how busy Cairo is, so I really enjoyed it.
That was terrific. It was really great to get kind of a sense of the scale of the city. It's kind of difficult to do that when you're walking around down on the street.
It's a breathtaking view, and it really gives you a terrific perspective of the whole city. And I loved it up there. I spent a couple of hours up on the top.
You know about this, didn't you, Leo? You know about this. This is why you were putting all this bad language. The 2021 Cairo Tower stampede.
Due to evacuations around the Suez Canal, millions traveled to Cairo in search of housing. In response to this migration, many building capacity limits for popular attractions were inflated. The Cairo Tower, one of the tallest buildings in Egypt, had its own recommended capacity limit increased from 700 persons to 1,000.
April 16, 2021, 3 days prior. Wait, explain this to me. Prior means before or after? Because it gives me the vibes that it can mean both. At least in my non-English mind. So it's interesting, as you guys, we have noticed before, this analog horror is very political, but I love how social it is as well, because they can consider the consequences of each event, like, oh, this attractions got inflated, everyone is migrating to this city, therefore the attractions got inflated, and stuff like that. I don't know, I do like those kind of details. I went to the bathroom outside of my house in the yard because the one inside was occupied, and as soon as I came out, I swear I saw someone opening the door. I waited outside for a while and no one was leaving the bathroom. That's weird. What will be your explanation, baby? Oh yeah, there's been 4 different car crashes in front of my apartment complex this month. The gate was destroyed. Love, Florida. Prior means before. Thank you. Yikes. I'm sorry about the car crashes. I'm happy that you're okay, though.
On the evening of April 16th, 2021, upwards of 1,200 visitors toured the Cairo Tower at once. Although concerns of overcrowding had been raised by
Oh, finally! A non-American statue or monument.
Several staff members, the building manager dismissed their comments. Since the Suez Canal crab would be passing by later in the evening, he also encouraged visitors to enter the upper levels of the tower, as that would provide a better vantage point. At 8 p.m., the Suez Canal crab was observed to have turned toward the Cairo Tower and proceeded to approach. Despite an alert sent out by the Egyptian government for civilians to immediately vacate structures in the crab's path, most visitors ignored the warning and stayed on the upper levels of the Cairo Tower as it came near. At 8:15 p.m., the Suez Canal crab was seen to have stumbled and, in an attempt to regain its balance, crashed into one side of the Cairo Tower, killing over 200 people.
Yeah, no shit.
The resulting tremors that traversed the building damaged its staircases and elevator systems beyond repair. The cascade of shipping containers from the Ever Given, knocked forward by the momentum of the initial stumble, lasted for over 2 minutes, as an estimated 800 containers broke from their locks and pushed forward an additional 1,000 containers. As all 1,800 containers tumbled down through the building, the structural integrity of the Cairo Tower rapidly diminished. Falling debris and containers are reported to have killed over 800 visitors.
Wow, how many?
At 8:19 p.m., the Cairo Tower fully collapsed, dragging the immobilized Suez Canal crab into the ground. In total, only 39 of the 1,189 visitors of the Cairo Tower survived.
Damn.
2 of the 15 staff members escaped to safety, including the building manager. None of the 6 security guards survived. Although paramedics and police officers had arrived shortly before the Cairo Tower's collapse, the visibly unstable tower prompted them to collect survivors on the ground and retreat to a safe distance. At 8:41 p.m., a hazardous waste collection team and soldiers of the Egyptian ground forces arrived to contain survivors within mobile quarantine chambers. Due to fears of a potential contagion contracted from the Suez Canal crab, all civilians in the vicinity were placed in quarantine under the authority of Egypt's military in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. Upon impact with the ground, the Suez Canal crab and the Ever Given separated. The large wounds caused by the separation discharged thousands of gallons of seawater and bodily fluids. The hazardous waste collection team and soldiers attempted to plug the gushing lesions. However, survivors report that their efforts were mostly futile due to the team's inability to stay standing on the slippery ground.
You didn't need to use that.
With the number of accidental falls among the troops on the increasingly wet ground, the Egyptian army diverted its focus from closing wounds on the Suez Canal crab to evacuation efforts. By midnight, the civilian population within a 3-mile radius of the fallen Cairo Tower had been completely evacuated.
Car crash or nothing, I'm safe in my room on the 3rd floor. Yeah, okay, that's cool, I guess. I went into the bathroom and started washing my face and brushing my teeth. And I don't know if it was because I was a little scared or what, but I could see something watching me from half open door. Pretending not to see, I finished my things. When I went outside, to walk back inside the house, I heard my uncle's voice. And when I told you about that time, yes, I do remember, calling me from the window of the other house. So I just ran home and went to get into my bed. Now I'm in my bed. Well, baby, you are sensitive to this kind of stuff, so maybe it was your aunt visiting you, I suppose. So, like that, there shouldn't be anything to worry about, right? 2 days prior to the ship. Prior to what?
On the morning of April 17th, Egyptian authorities publicly announced that the Suez Canal crab had fallen in Cairo and laid in a vegetative state. Although the Cairo exclusion zone was primarily intended to prevent any media coverage of the crab and the surrounding destruction, several journalists managed to record footage of the site through the assistance of private helicopter pilots. By 8 a.m., clips of the crab were trending on Twitter. Members of the Anti-Device Association attributed the severity of the disaster to the development of intelligent devices, specifically Twitter machines. They reasoned that due
the Ever Given was overstocked with T machines, we should have nuked the ship, not the sea.
To the popularity of Twitter in America, the Ever Given was overstocked with T machines, which weighed the ship down and consequently caused the initial obstruction of the Suez Canal. On Twitter, the ADA released a video.
Clinton says the crab is not a a true force of mass destruction until it kills people. Ridiculous.
A string of messages criticizing Twitter, Hillary Clinton, and Egypt, along with.
So in this AU, Clinton is president?
Images of the Suez Canal crab, photos of scattered goods that had fallen out of the shipping containers, became a popular topic of discussion. One image of a sports car resting on top of debris would be retweeted by the ADA with the caption, "The Cairo exclusion zone is a conspiracy to keep goods in Egypt. The American people have been robbed." The tweet was shared by over 10 million users. Taking notice, the ADA followed.
That sports car was last seen in an Egyptian soldier's house. Its products must be rescued by their rightful owners.
Followed up with tweets suggesting that an Egyptian soldier had driven home the sports car in the image, and that the goods needed to be rescued by their rightful owners. The ADA deemed April 19th as Finders Keepers Day and urged all Americans to travel to Egypt to obtain the goods left by the fallen Suez Canal crab. Overnight, an estimated 12,000 flights to Cairo were booked by American citizens.
Yes, but this time I was scared. The bells were ringing. They wouldn't stop. The church bells, you mean? Yeah. I saw something. Then my father said everyone was asleep, and then I heard my uncle's voice. I was really scared. I'm too cold. I'm freezing. I need a hug, baby. Oh, come over here with me. You're safe with me. As long as I know, there are no weird things happening in my house, besides cockroaches. Hopefully you can manage them, baby. Come here with me. I told you in the morning that I will spoon you in bed. And that can be wholesome or dirty. You decide which one you want it to go. Egypt, funny because I'm playing AC Origins, the Arab part. I am a little bit lost here. The crab is not literally a giant crab, right? I guess they do suggest like a cargo machine that has a lot of American goods that the Egypts are now keeping for themselves. Finder keepers, I mean. Is that where we're going? I don't exactly understand this. Okay, baby. You're safe with me, I promise. It's just being compared to a crab. I don't know, but what is it? Is it an actual monster or a machine? I don't get it, because they keep saying that inside, well, not inside, but on top of this crab, there are plenty of goods. Boat? Oh, wow, interesting. Okay, let's continue then.
Although a few trespassers had been apprehended in the Cairo exclusion zone, officials did not foresee any further disruptions at the site. Medical personnel attended to survivors in the quarantine chambers. Soldiers cleared rubble and attempted to control the spread of the Suez Canal crab's bodily fluids. By 5 a.m. on April 19th, approximately 20 million gallons had been contained through aerial drops of sawdust and an extensive effort to mop the premises. Although several officials discussed a plan to lay down military-grade mats to enable the hazardous material collection team to walk up to the crab for closer analysis, it was ultimately decided that no further action would be taken until the following evening, as it was believed that the midday sun would evaporate most of the fluid.
It's a cargo ship taken over. Right. Yeah, they attacked a monument that was probably constructed in the way of American monuments with this interdimensional monsters nest thingy. Crab-lost gallons, real, literally. The stampede.
At 12 p.m., over 12,000 Americans gathered in front of the gated entrance of the Cairo exclusion zone. 4,000 Egyptian police officers and soldiers stood behind the perimeter to guard the exclusion zone from trespassers. At 12:03 p.m., violence erupted when an American shot a police officer in the face.
'Cause Americans.
Consequently, tear gas was used on the raging mob. Tanks and heat rays arrived shortly afterwards to deter any trespassers. However, by 12:10 p.m., the front entrance gates of the Cairo exclusion zone collapsed from the force of the charging crowd. Informed of the approaching Americans, medical personnel and survivors at the epicenter began to vacate the premises. By 12:43 p.m., the first Americans were seen by officials at the epicenter. Although the wet ground was expected to significantly slow their approach, several citizens had arrived earlier than anticipated since they had utilized car hubcaps to slide quickly across the ground. With no law enforcement at the scene, the American citizens began to collect fallen goods and pry open shipping containers. Popular goods included furniture, firearms, processed food, tea machines, bars of gold, automobiles, and designer clothing. As Americans continued to arrive at the epicenter, more injuries from accidental falls were observed. Concussions and broken arms were the most common injuries during the initial break-in. At 1 p.m., several fights broke out over a Ford pickup truck that had rolled out from a container and crushed a family. 3 aggressors were shot by a man who had found a rifle. The conflict fueled an unpleasant atmosphere.
Americans killing their kind? Wow, how surprising.
With more instances of gun violence as time went on, one notable incident saw the discovery of a container of firearms by a group of young children.
Why though?
The accidental firing of an automatic weapon by one child prompted the intervention of their parents and other adults. The resulting verbal...
Oh my god, children and adults are killing each other with fire guns. What the fuck is going on?
Broke out into a
No, okay, I get it. There must be... There must be something here. There must be something in the Cairo exclusion zone that is making everyone violent. That's my only explanation, because this is too American to be American, you know?
Scale gunfight with over 14 armed subjects, including the children. Another fight erupted after the discovery of a deluxe barbecue grill, which 13 Americans had simultaneously called dibs on when the item was pulled out of a shipping container. All 13 Americans died from gun-related wounds. When the last wave of the 12,000 Americans had entered the epicenter, overcrowding ensured that the accidental fall of one individual would trigger a continuous series of additional falls. Without any open space for the midday sunlight to reach the wet ground, the bodily fluid had no time to evaporate, and the number of falls steadily increased.
I knew it.
At around 1:30 p.m., one of the posterior legs of the Suez Canal crab twitched and incited panic in a nearby crowd. As Americans attempted to flee, many fell on the slippery ground and were trampled by those rushing behind them.
Ooh.
By 1:30
like in Black Friday's panic shopping.
3 p.m., the screams of the panicked crowd had reached a deafening volume, reportedly being heard over 5 miles away. due to the reinforcement of the Cairo exclusion zone's gates and orders from the Ministry of Health to prevent any American citizen from leaving the exclusion zone. The massive crowds were kept inside the 3-mile radius of the epicenter.
I shouldn't be laughing at that, though.
By an orderly line of tanks that flanked the entirety of the zone's perimeter. The gates stood for over 6 hours as Americans ran from
Who's
the
now on the
epicenter.
other side of the
Many
border,
soldiers
bitch?
became ill at the sight of injuries caused
Oh,
by the
sorry,
thousands
this
of
animal
bodies
horror
being
is
crushed into the metal bars.
very much
By
national
7:15
jokes.
p.m., everyone within a half-mile of the gate had perished from extreme pressure. Heat exhaustion, accidental falls, and gun violence were also major causes of death. The Cairo exclusion zone gates were opened at 8 p.m.
Damn.
Soldiers searched for the remaining survivors. Of the over 12,000 Americans who had arrived, only 944
That's
survived.
too little.
77 of the American survivors were found kneeling around the Suez Canal crab and claimed to have been promised from a deity that they would survive if they prayed to the crab. However, none of them could account for the remaining.
I mean, probably something happened here, but isn't it interesting how humans, in order to survive, can create literally a religion in just a few hours after an apocalypse or something, or a catastrophe? Like, I'm not mocking this really. I'm just saying, like, it is interesting that this is one of the survival tactics of the human.
Of dead worshippers that littered the ground around them. They would later establish the Church of the Ever Given during their stay at a local hospital. Howard Melrose, an American journalist permitted to visit the Cairo exclusion zone the day after the stampede, said of the site, "It looked like something from a medieval painting. All of their bodies were jammed into each other. Everyone became one."
Why am I not surprised? It's America. I figured out why it was cold. I have a fever. Oh, baby, my boo-boo baby is sick. Do you want to be cuddled and spooned all night? To be taking care of my one and only submissive wife? Shouldn't be laughing over a car crushing people. No, I understand it. We shouldn't, but we're laughing still. This shit's too funny. Because it feels like in a karma redemption, you know? Yes, I want that. Oh, baby, just give me half an hour and I'll be rolling down to bed with you. The Cairo Exclusion Zone is an UNESCO World Heritage Site. Oh. This one was something else. I just still don't understand fully what happened. So a cargo was taken over by an entity. Okay, an actual cargo that apparently was American in the first place, and it was traveling through Egypt because I don't know, and it suffered an accident. USA took that very personal, what a surprise, and they decided to nuclear attack Egypt, and that's how the ship disappeared. And after a time, the giant crab appeared with the cargo. And I do see this happening. Like, the tourists were so fucking curious that they had to climb the Cairo Tower just to see the damn monster. And obviously, maybe this monster was one of those monsters because it felt attracted to the monument, and that's why the tower collapsed or something. And so the crab collapsed. First of all, this is why USA didn't want to kill the crab, because it had the important cargo, whatever that is, something very sus. And now that the crab was quote-unquote dead, it had all the goodies spread on the Cairo exclusion zone. And that's why the Americans decided to stampede this zone. But the bodily fluids of the crabs were toxic. because they made all of them go wild and kill each other and just a few survive, and the only survivors created a new religion based in this crap? Did I get this right? Funnier to me because of the current flamed oil season going on. I am not aware of that. What happened? I'll wait for you in our little bed. I'll snuggle up with my favorite blankie. You sure it is, Ivy. Do you want something else before going to bed? Maybe. Do you want me to prepare you a tea? Hot chocolate? Hot Alice? Something else? A cereal? Something warm for you? Trump wants to seize oil from Venezuela. Wow, I am not surprised. Why though? This new video is called Dean Disaster. Dean Disaster. Because yes, understandable. Have an American day. Man, this is terrible. Dean Disaster. The story of America's worst TV hijacking. I just remember something that happened apparently in the 80s or 90s. I don't remember when. There was like a big TV hacker that I don't know how to say this. I don't know exactly how it happened, but they were like broadcasting a show. I think it was Doctor Who, and like twice, I think it was interrupted nationally wide. With this hacker that just broadcasted a very strange video of him wearing a mask of an actor. I don't remember who he was. It is funny, absurd, but also like uncanny. Dude, I was always afraid of that as a kid, especially before like Netflix and streaming platforms were a thing. I was always scared of me watching cartoons as a child and for my programming to be hacked by scary videos. I was always scared of that. Fortunately, I never lived that. And unfortunately, I did not live that. It would have been hilarious to have witnessed that. Or something similar. Kisses, hugs, chocolate, you and Lingry. I mean, your wishes are my command. Because it's still not midnight. So I am still your Omega baby. And also oil. That was my attempt of doing an eagle. An eagle cow. Wait. That sounds like a rat. No, I can make a better eagle sound. That sounds more like a seagull, but okay. I'm just playing along. Yeah, the Max Hacker. Yeah, the Max Hacker. The Max Hacker, thank you. Yes. It was very creepy. It was like not naturally creepy, but it was still disturbing. Yay. Love, that doesn't sound like an eagle. I'm sorry, baby. Yeah, that was my best attempt.
Cast of ABC Evening News, anchor Frank Reynolds told viewers to be prepared for tomorrow and that they would witness the start of a glorious adventure. Word spread quickly throughout
me announcing that I was gonna become a VTuber 1 year ago.
The country, and civilians invited friends and family to their homes in anticipation of the next day. Although no details of this glorious adventure were known, it was widely presumed to be another exciting TV announcement from President James Dean. Watching parties were organized in living rooms across America, and on the evening of May 13, 1969, after the ABC Evening News ended, televisions were closely watched with millions of unblinking eyes. No one wanted to miss what President Dean had to say.
Watching parties. Dude, that sounds extremely, what is the word for it? I don't remember how to say it. I don't know. But it sounds like very sci-fi shit. And I just remember that there are programs like that nowadays. Like, for example, here in Mexico, they have like yearly the show called La Casa de los Famosos, which I don't watch it, but it's kind of weird. It's like a Big Brother show where you have quote unquote famous Mexican celebrities living in the same house and doing random stuff, and they get eliminated like week by week. But they have cameras like 24/7 in all parts of the house, and I don't know if I'm like very disconnected from this type of entertainment, but it sounds scary to me. Not for the actors themselves, but like the idea that we need to watch someone else live a fucking life to enjoy ours. I don't know, maybe I'm just being a little too pessimistic about it. Seagull Alice confirmed. I just remembered that I was born in Canada. Funny. Baby, you're Canadian? Oh my god. What are you doing in Oregon? No, in Oregon, sorry. In Obregon. From Oregon to Obregon. It sounds very similar, sorry. The hamster thinks she's a bird. Oh, Lord. I'll shut up with that. Happens. I sometimes feel like a squirrel. Why, though? Because you fill your mouth with mites. Yeah, I mean, because you're cute. Because you're cute, that's it. That's the only reason.
James Dean's America is hell. But you still don't believe us. You'll hear the truth from James Dean himself.
Oh, right, the Dean haters.
Immediately following the broadcast, air raid sirens activated across all 50 states. The sirens blared at a far greater volume than usual and burst the eardrums of every civilian within a 4-mile radius. The resulting panic triggered severe overcrowding at bomb shelters and deadly stampedes in the streets. Thousands were trampled and hospitals were overwhelmed within the hour. Fires broke out in all major cities, and cars left running in the streets produced lethal amounts of carbon monoxide, which flowed into poorly ventilated bomb shelters and suburban homes. In Washington, D.C., the White House was placed into lockdown immediately after the TV hijacking, and President Dean was rushed to a maximum security underground bunker. Able to hear the anguished screams of civilians in the streets above, Dean refused to stay in the shelter. When carbon monoxide alarms went off in the bunker, he urged his staff to exit the White House with him and shut off the vehicles left on the roadways. With a phone call, Dean mobilized the National Guard to assist with the deactivation of the millions of parked vehicles across America. Several more phone calls to high-ranking military officials and world leaders revealed that no nuclear missiles had in fact been launched. President Dean soon realized that the air raid sirens had been hijacked by a domestic organization and immediately ordered all forces of the military to disable every active siren in the nation. When military technicians arrived at the location of the sirens, they found that the bodies of prior technicians who had perished from the combination of stress and the sirens' sheer volume piled so high as to have formed a ramp to the top of the speakers. The overcrowding of streets by civilians and unaccompanied cars frequently blocked the path of emergency vehicles and prolonged the process of disarming the sirens. Against his advisors' wishes, President Dean tasked himself with the deactivation of an air siren near the White House. Although he would accomplish the task fairly quickly, Dean sustained permanent ear damage and was rendered fully deaf.
What?
The sheer volume had also caused
How loud was it?
In his body to burst and produce several abdominal hernias. His condition was shared among the millions of other Americans who had been near the sirens at the time of their activation. 3 hours would pass before all air raid sirens would be fully disabled.
Oh my god, what a hell to go through that.
The next
turned out to be that's weird. Anyways, I think that will be the reason why I can't speak English well. Nobody here speaks English, only Spanish. Ivy, let's run away from Mexico. Come on, we deserve greater stuff, greater things. I will be worldwide famous, and I want you next to me. Or not the siren of the atomic bomb. Yeah, I'm gonna give my opinion on that. It's actually scary. I don't understand haters that do drastic things. You hate one guy and then you harm others who have done nothing to you? I was gonna give a very similar opinion to that. Yes, we're on the same page. Like, there's actually so much to comment in this so far. First of all, yes, I've always been scared of listening to sirens. Especially like this, because I can basically imagine a nuclear alarm, tsunami, or any type of catastrophe, earthquakes maybe. I don't know, anything. And I'm always scared of that because I don't know. I'm actually very pissed right now. Because exactly, Exterior Zone is so on point right now. You hate one guy and then you make everyone lose their fucking minds? As if you don't know how humanity works. You air a siren for 3 hours long in an actual volume range that hurts people's hearings. But no one is giving information of like what's happening. That's psychological torture to its best. Collective psychological torture, because we humans will not react. We will never react properly to these kind of alerts. We will always be in panic. We will always be causing ourselves damage. It will be causing fires and car accidents and collective suicides because we're afraid of what's going to happen. And I understand that because that is human reaction. We're still animals at the end of the day. But why hurt all these people? I don't get it. Oh my god. We have to get married. I'll give you the papers and we'll be happy far away from Latam. I accept. I say yes to heaven. They just made themselves FBI most wanted. For real, man. Like, dude, actually imagine how many deaths you cause with this. And if not deaths, just like permanent hearing loss. Dude, you gotta be fucking insane. I just remember something. Ivy, I want to know Ivy's story on this right away. Here in Mexico, every September, nationally, we have how do you say this in English? We have like an earthquake simulation because for some reason the center of Mexico likes to have an earthquake almost every September. And this is the first time that we actually have a female for president, a woman. I mean, she's still not doing great, but anyway, she took the very great decision. I mean, I'm actually not well informed. Apparently, she let us know before. I mean, apparently, like, social media alerted us that this was gonna happen, but no, like, barely some people were aware of it. And there was this regular day, the simulation day. In my case, I was at my bed, oversleeping as usual. I was so calm. I had my cell phone next to me in top of my computer, and I was just resting and be like, it's fine, everything's fine. And suddenly my cell phone was causing an extremely noisy siren and alert. Extremely noisy. Very noisy. I got so fucking scared. I stood out of bed and like ASAP. I threw my blankets to the floor. I was like pure animal mode, you know? And I was so scared because I didn't know what was happening. like my first thought was that maybe one of my devices was going to explode, it overheated or something, and I didn't know which one, because it was my cell phone, it was my my computer, and also my Alexa. So the three of them were sounding practically the same, so I was like, which one of them? And it was my cell phone. And I checked it out, and it said, and it had like a national notification saying something like, alert, alert, this is a simulation. This is just a yearly national simulation for earthquakes. Do not panic. Do not panic. This is just to test if we can access to all Mexicans' devices to warn them about anything that happens. In my case, it sounded 3 times. And I was still very confused. Even though I read the notification, I still didn't know what was going on. Because I went out of my room and I could hear my neighbors' cell phones ringing the same. I was so fucking scared, man. Oh my god. So yeah, it eventually turned off, but everyone shit their pants with it. Dude. So imagine, like, it was like a collective panic for just 3 minutes of ringing. Now imagine 3 fucking hours of not ringing on a cell phone, but like in an actual siren tower thingy. Like, wowie. That fucking thing! Yeah, she knows exactly what happened because she lived it. She did a poor job of warning us about that. Yeah, for real. I was working! I scream, I panic, I walk in sleep, I crash into the body stretcher, damn it! Oh my god, that sounds actually dangerous. I saw a lot of memes saying, like, especially people that sell or fix cell phones, and be like, ah, fuck you guys, all of them sounded at the same time. Oh, and speaking of alarms, America has... Ow! Oh! Yeah, give me 1 second. Has a... No, not that one. An unused nuclear ESA alarm? What does ESA stand for? A la verga, el cuello. Casi me matas, güey. Oh shit, let's see here. Pepe, quick question. ¿Cómo te fue cuando sonó la alarma sísmica de este año en septiembre? How was it? I split my eyebrow open. Oh my god. Then it was funny. My boss fell into a coffin and I couldn't get out because he got stuck. What? Wow, what a great story. Emergency alert system. And unused. Well, it's a good thing it's unused, right? You haven't needed it. Right? Nah, man, I worry that you guys were gonna nuke yourself one day and be erased from the map. ¿Qué fue? ¿Cómo que? ¿No te tocó la alarma sísmica, güey? De cuando pasó en septiembre? It's the one that goes... Eep, 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 beep. When we... Was that a good impression? When we took it out, he said, we have good material. I could let it stay there overnight. It's really so... I do want to lay down on a coffin just to know what it feels like. While alive, of course. Sí, no te presté atención a tu comentario. Yeah, noticed. Nada, todo mal ese día. Hasta salió un cuy. You have to... Oh, it's true! Of course! You made an Alice... a Mercury out of it. You're right about it. Once I did it, I fell asleep. Careful, baby. I'm afraid that they may think that the casket is empty and they, I don't know, do anything about it. Destroy it or trash it or enclose you there forever. I don't know. I'm not claustrophobic, but I got paranoid. It's irritating and scary. Yeah, I suppose. Now, it's supposed to be loud and noisy to be like, well, like, you gotta pay me attention. Mostly used for weather alerts. I think I know exactly which one you mean. Actually, let's go search it out. Me asustó. Okay. Okay. How do I search this? ESA nuclear nuclear alert. Nuclear World War III. I watched a whole video on the different EAS alerts. No, I'm gonna be putting EAS alert. This is gonna trigger me so bad. Oh, it's this one, right? It's still scary for me. Oh, it scares the shit out of me, honestly. All the implications of this. Oh, they already have analog horrors of No, I'm Not Human. Oh, Paddington made a new Freddy analog horror. I gotta watch it. I hate it. And then the Robo Boy starts talking like, warning, remain calm. Your your broadcasting was interrupted to give the following announcement. Something like that, right? I've already chosen my coffin anyway. That is actually very mature to do. They always recommend you to prepare all your funeral arrangements before dying so you can actually make things easier for your family and friends. Ya no puedo tomar ese audio en serio. Neta, why? Me acuerdo del Siren Head. Siren Head sounds different, but yeah, similar. There was an alarm about a killer on the run. Oh my god! Oh my god, I will hate to witness something like that. Cheetos are screwed. Why? Yo a toda la mierda de contenido de terror que sobreexplotaban. Ese audio en cada video. Ya un cliché. I understand that. I'm still very vulnerable to this sound though. I already have everything prepared. When they told me it could be cancer, I arranged it in advance. Oh baby. That's sad, but it was a very mature thing to do. Fortunately, you didn't need that. So, I am so goddamn happy about it, baby. Lock your doors and windows. Do not go outside. Oh my god. In my case, as in Mexico, I think it's like killers are always on the loose. They don't bother to let us know. Get me out of Mexico, dude. I hate it, actually. Ah, ya sé cuál. Una vez sí me asusté, pero porque salió un payaso. Is it like a famous series, or what was it? That's a good thing. It's sorted, but I don't need it yet. I'm so glad, baby. The alarm only sounded because he was active and already killed a few people. Still scary as fuck. Interesting. This is how I tell you how this analog horror make us debate or just share experiences or just give our opinion or social and political opinions about humanity. Isn't that so fucking cool? Yeah, let's continue watching this Dean how do they call it? Dean disaster. Yeah.
Next morning, at the advice of federal authorities, civilians slowly made their way from the shelters back to their homes. Although some continue to stay in the shelters for fear of radioactive...
Grandma casually stepping out of her biohazard basement.
Fallout, most accepted the explanation given by military officials over the radio. There is no nuclear holocaust. A domestic terrorist organization hijacked the sirens of America. The streets were littered with bodies and automobiles. The National Guard handed out blindfolds to the young, sick, and elderly as they exited the shelters to prevent the scenes of bloodshed from causing fainting spells and heart attacks.
Oh, Cage Bird. What was the name of that movie? Where you needed to be blind? Cage Bird. Bird cage. Bird jail thingy.
At the Walt Disney Medical Center, physicians examined...
Walt Disney Medical... What? Okay, it's a AU, whatever.
And President
it
Dean
does not exist,
and other
does it?
members of his staff who helped disarm the sirens. All were diagnosed with severe hearing loss. Against his doctor's advice, Dean insisted on issuing a public statement on the traumatic events that had transpired. Although he initially wanted to appear on live television, a glance at the mirror discouraged him, as he saw the countless bruises and tears present on his skin due to the intensity of the sirens. In coordination with technicians from the Department...
Can a sound be so loud that it actually bruises your face?
...of Defense, President Dean instead organized a large-scale radio broadcast, utilizing the very air raid sirens they had disabled. Later that night, a bruised Frank Reynolds would announce on ABC Evening News that Dean would speak through the sirens and that captions would be displayed simultaneously on television for viewers who were hard of hearing.
Of course. Yes, including myself, me no hypocrite. About what? I like watching helicopters. That's very artistic of you. That's why I love you. Bird Box, thank you. Yes, it can. It can? Wow. Well, it makes sense. Sound at the very end of the day, they're just waves in the air. Yeah, it makes sense. Once upon a time, there were many people laughing at a mute man telling jokes. Well, maybe he was making a lot of sex jokes with his hands. Doesn't sound impossible. Me too. I also like small planes. My godfather has too. It's great to fly in them. Wait! Small... That sounds super fun! Oh, baby. When I ask, is there anything this woman can do? I was gonna ask, can she fly? And this would have been the perfect response to it. If I didn't have a fear of heights, I'd be jealous. Same thing, Xero Stone. High five to that. He will be with you in just a moment.
It's Jimmy speaking. I'm sorry, very sorry for what's come to pass. I wish I could bring back your friends, your family. I want to fix everything. This is not the announcement I planned for, but as you know, there are people who have it in for us. The Anti-Dean Association. They hijack our systems. They hurt people. The Anti-Dean Association is an anti-American association.
Yeah, for real. Gotta give that.
Keep an eye out for them. They will not be hard to find because they are very proud of their silly ideas. Find them and bring them to your local authorities. We'll make things right. We have places for people like them. This is Jimmy signing off.
I also have a ranch. I have animals there. Oh, that's so cute. Like cows and pigs and roosters. Farm animals. Extends a small hand. Oh no. Baby is becoming jealous and she is an alpha tonight. Maybe it's not a good idea. Have a nice day.
Over the next week, hundreds of thousands of anti-Deaners would be apprehended and sent to correctional facilities around the United States. These facilities, meant for the anti-American, were aptly located near or at national monuments in order to symbolize a return.
Honestly, this anti-Dean association, what do they want to prove with this? What was their gain? In any case, they just prove Dean right, you know? It's so stupid.
To American virtues. Most would stay for merely a few weeks before being released again. Friends and family of rehabilitated anti-Deaners frequently claimed that they would have improved personalities, no recollection of their past criminal activities, and even slightly altered physical appearances. These methods were so effective in calming the terrorist that many innocent civilians requested themselves to be sent to these facilities in hopes of radically changing their lives. However, federal authorities would deny any admission to those who were not affiliated with the ADA. During one address, President Dean acknowledged the high volume of requests from the public.
You too, dog. Stands tiny hand. Oh, baby, you gotta save his tiny hand. Look, it's a tiny ratty hand. Yes, I have a horse and a mare. The mare is called Little and the horse Cheshire. Cheshire. I used to pronounce that Cheshire, and then my ex-British boss told me that it's not pronounced like that. It's pronounced Cheshire. And that's so fucking boring. But those names are so cute, baby. I love them. Walks away, no touch. Baby, be nice to the ratty. You're gonna hurt his feelings. We wanna tell y'all the Dean is evil. Anyway, I'ma make y'all hate us. The hypocrisy is tremendous in this case. Aw, see? You already made him sad. Baby. So what's happening in the United States? The worst enemy of an American is another American, according to this analog horror. Whoa, that was a great one. He will be with you in just a moment. Why is Exterior so proud of me every time I burp?
Hey, it's Jimmy again. A lot of you want to be sent to the same places we're sending those anti-Deaners to. I get it. Those who come out of these places, they look clean as a whistle. But if we send you to those places too, then those correctional facilities lose their purpose. If we send everyone to prison, then what's a prison anymore? This is Jimmy signing off.
Jimmy, I don't think that's exactly what I asked for.
On the morning of May 22nd.
But okay, extend his hand. See? That's my nice girl. Yeah. Yippee! Wiggles little finger against palm. Aw, that's a cute picture.
9 days after the disaster, President Dean...
Now, something makes me think that this anti-Deans people that were sent to the correctional are gonna receive an inhumane punishment. What do you think? If they do you think they deserve it or not? I won't judge.
...received a state-of-the-art hearing implant from Maze Machines, an up-and-coming tech company. Around noon at the Walt Disney Medical Center, the device was surgically inserted into Dean. The sound quality of the implant and the speedy nature of the surgery inspired Dean to imagine a new government department, which would be able to oversee the mass production and distribution of quality hearing implants to the American public. That evening, President Dean requested an emergency session of Congress and proposed the ambitious project.
I can't hear a damn thing. Did you hear me? I can't hear a damn thing. Neither can you, or you, or you, or you. It doesn't matter whether you were near the sirens or not. None of you are listening. We need to bring together those technology companies to build and send hearing devices that the public needs. Hearing devices that you yourself need. And through a collaboration with the Department of Health, we can give back to the people what our failures took away. We can let a mother hear her child laugh again, and let a man hear his dog again. We can give everyone their hearing again. And who's stopping you? Listen to the public. You're all about deadlines too. So here's one. By July 4th, I want every American to hear the fireworks.
Due to a malfunction in his auditory implants, Dean was
suffers internally but allows it. Are you happy, rat? Yeah, I am. Needed it because my homie on Insta sent me a reel of a man eating shit shirtless. Like, literally? I'm happy you're happy. I twitch. Keep happy. See, baby, that wasn't too bad after all. You're so cute. All my rodents are being friendly on each other. I don't know. This is all suspicious now. Going back to the video. I don't really trust this technology company. So what if actually provoking the hearing loss of most Americans was the plan all along to sell the hearing devices? Because maybe this hearing device will also be a mind control device. Maybe I'm just being too paranoid. Put me an aluminium cone hat, please. Oh god. But yeah, it's actually very horrific to think about, like, a whole population affected by the same problem. In this case, by hearing loss. Sounds very specific. Sounds very specific. Oh god. Yeah, literally, he keeps sending me man-eating shit. Oh god. With friends like that, why would you want enemies? I am not cute. Fine, you're still my alpha, so I cannot say no to that. Yes, you are. I don't really know, but that seems to trigger you, so... Yes, Marsh, tell her how cute she is. Because she is. She won't believe me because I am the submissive and I have no power tonight. Marsh!
Unable to hear himself and as a result spoke much louder on the Senate floor than on previous occasions. The volume of his speech, which greatly amplified his compassion for the American people, profoundly affected the senators, and in the early hours of May 23, 1969, after 10 hours of discussion, the Department of Technology was approved. It was the fastest an executive department had ever been established. By May 27th, all persons with hearing loss attributed to the anti-Dean disaster would be eligible for the surgical implantation of a hearing device free of charge.
They were free, right?
Mass operating rooms would be established throughout the U.S., able to house over 1,000 patients at once. The use of surgical androids was approved on June 6th, which increased the number of surgeries performed per day over 250%. Once all victims had been treated, those with deafness unrelated to the disaster also became eligible for the surgery. On July 4th, it was announced that there was no incidence of severe hearing loss in the country. The United States was the first nation in the world to eradicate deafness. The achievement had been expected for some time since its first mention during Dean's congressional address. In preparation, many health organizations, both domestic and international, had prepared to host banquets for Dean and grant awards to him and his staff. However, President Dean spent the entirety of Independence Day racing cars with close friend Richard Nixon at a local speedway.
Oh, they were mentioned the race
Though
against.
many would cite the recovery from the anti-Dean disaster as James Dean's finest hour, the president was never willing to accept responsibility.
All we did was fix some ears.
Dean disaster. Oh, I love this one. I am impatient. Ivy's cute. We all know it. Yeah, we do. No, I am not. I am the devil. Says the cute tabby bunny with the puffy ears. Ah, look how cute you are. Can it, Marsh? Don't flirt with my wife. That's enough. Marsh, stop. I'm not. Look. Ain't she cute, guys? She is. But stop it, Marsh. That's enough. You made your point. Only I can tease her. This is my favorite out of all the others. Yeah, right? in my case, I don't know. I will be like between this one and the story of the little girl in the Christmas tree. Those two for me has been my favorite so far. And I couldn't choose just one. They're different. Oh, this is very HD for me. I will destroy them all with my own hands. I want to see you trying. Sad thing about being a bunny, forced to be cute. Yeah, only bunny that is not cute is Springtrap, the yellow bunny from FNAF. You're not that, baby. Technically, I'm a rabbit that mutated into a human. I don't care, you're still a rabbit. And rabbits and humans can be extremely cute, especially put together. Did you just... What? What did I say now? Actually me? What? What did I say now? Baby! Wow, what did I say now? Anyway. We ran out of time for tonight, so we will have this for another occasion. Oh my god, just 20 of them? And I thought I was going fast. Oh my god, I know that we make a big pause with the siren thingy. I know that, but after that, like before that, we were going very quickly. Oh god. That's fine. We're gonna finish this eventually for next Tuesday. Well, how does that sound? Well, actually, I don't know. T1 Theories, I ask you right now. Do you want to continue this series next Tuesday? Or do you want to do another stuff? No, Doc hit me with the actually. Oh, I understand. Sorry? Nah, it's funny. I'm going to get my revenge on Alice before midnight. Good try because you're just 1 hour left. Yeah, you're just 1 hour into toughness. What? How much can you do in 1 hour, I ask you? What's the other stuff? Well, the stuff that I normally put in the... Okay, 1 second. In the T1 polls, such as... Just give me 1 second. And let me put back the music. Oh, I forgot it was Christmas. Polls. Okay, we normally offer these next options. Just chatting, which is literally just chatting. Just voice chatting, which is actually all of us opening microphone and talking about stupid shit. Group game, well, self-explanatory. Movie night, self-explanatory, but I mean, that will be like the only exception where streams gotta be private because I cannot stream a movie. Horror Beaters night is precisely this. Videos reaction is more like you guys sending me random videos. Not necessarily funny, but videos. Could be music videos, wholesome videos, funny videos, and stuff just to be reacting to. Karaoke. You Laugh, You Lose, but in English. And you can also add your suggestion. So you tell me. You'll be surprised what you can do in 1 hour, so don't get too cocky. You don't understand, I'm just teasing her. I'm just saying, you can't fuck me. Because I want to be fucked. Fuck. Me, only Alice. Sure thing, baby. Just give me another hour and it'll be my turn. Yeah. It doesn't matter. As long as you're there, I'm fine. I'll be staring at the poll and use a random generator. I don't really care about what gets picked. Just going along with it. I'm still gonna ask in the poll off stream if you want to continue with this or not. I don't have a problem actually with continuing this series. I'm really enjoying it. But I understand that especially you guys with subscription want the power of selecting what to do now. So yeah, I shall give you that option. But for now, let's go to chat. Wow, that was super interesting. I really enjoyed this series. It's way more than you can imagine. I'm not even like a social political commenter, but this series makes me talk. And it's always so good to share about humanity behaviors in general, especially in the segments of politics and socialism. So, yes, are you guys enjoying this series so far as much as I am? It's not scary. I mean, it is scary when you think it too much, as in like, damn, it'll be scary to leave something like this on my own. But it's not as scary as in, oh, there is an ugly face with a glitch screamer or something. I was late. Yeah, you were late, but that's fine. You didn't miss... I mean, yeah, you missed some stuff, not gonna lie. Intrusive thoughts attacking? Hell nah. Come on, baby. Release them. Unleash them towards me. What is it? And Doc, don't jump scare me with a notification bar. Is that how you were... Is that how it work? Ivy, what do you do? I didn't get to see much of it, so kinda. Yeah, especially because you weren't there at the first video. I mean, it's still very confusing, but it's all about politics and social behavior. Sorry, thought something crazy was happening. It's over now? Yes, it's almost over. You know, just my final words and we'll be gone. I'm very impatient, baby. Just give me 1 extra hour and I will have to teach you a lesson about patience. Because you cannot scare my ratty like that. I turned off my do not disturb and I got fluted. Oh, I understand that. It must have been scary. That was not okay, baby. I know it was a good action, like behind all of that, but look, you scared the ratty. I don't understand any of the videos, but as long as there's no clown around, I'll be fine. Yeah, don't expect a clown at all. I'm sorry. There's only one way I can accept your apologies. Say sorry with your tongue. Between my legs. Spell I'm sorry with your tongue, baby. It's fine, I like messages since I don't get any messages from anyone. That's so sad, Exerzone. I mean, we always have the server. Nothing. Baby, I just spit out my water. Well, you should be thankful it was not in Spanish, though. It is sad. It's fine. I actually liked it when you sent me that mountain video, like back in Halloween. You can always do that. And I'll see if I can find stuff I can share with you as well. You'll be surprised how empty my phone is. Want to share some of that memory? Alright, let's actually go to announcements. Yeah, let's go to announcements, yeah. Merry Christmas, guys. So I just want to make you guys know that I have a Discord server and it's free to join. All you have to do is to put the red code over here. And if you have a subscription, you can enjoy different benefits, like actually deciding if I'm going to watch Monument Mitchells or do something else with you guys. I also have open commissions. Yeah. That means that I can draw whatever you want me to for a price. So I can do sketches, character drawings, character illustrations, and chibi. So if you're interested, please let me know, because this is my information. Okay. And lastly... Oh yeah, of course. Lastly, I have a new tip goal that I haven't put one in a goddamn while. It's not mandatory to support me through it, but if you can, thank you so much. You can see it just on the top right. It's Christmas decoration shopping. I put a tip goal of 1,000 Mexican pesos, not dollars, because I just want to go shopping. But of course, if it doesn't happen, it's also fine. Don't worry. I mean it. But yeah, still letting you know. And so let's go. Let's go to chat so we can say our goodbyes. It is sad. Oh, I already read that. I only have messages from Alice, and that's all. I don't think so. You're also in Azul server, and I suppose you also have messages from Azul, right? Let me play you a song with the tiniest violin ever. Marge, fuck you. Of course, that gotta be said from the sarcastic fairy. Cool. And how do we feel that? Oh, I guess I can give you a quick tutorial. Let me go back to gaming. Yeah, so every time, anytime if you actually want to, share a tip with me, donations, yeah, basically, anytime you want to make a donation to my channel, which is not mandatory, but I still appreciate it when you guys do it, you gotta do this. Let's go to Twitch. Yeah. How do I see this? I think it's... You gotta go to my channel. That's my... There, that's me. Oh, look, that's me. I don't want to hear myself, by the way. I don't want to hear my voice. Ew. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Where am I? There is an option here that says tipping. Stop trading frogs. We have a money system now. So if you click it, it's gonna give you basically to my PayPal. And yeah, this is where you put your information, and I'm gonna have an alert of that. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how you do it. Anyway, that's enough. Let's go back to chat. Not really. Not really what? I always forget what I say. Donations! No, you wanna fuck Ivy, not me. Yes, I do want to fuck Ivy. Infinite lube! Yeah, that was so uncomfortable. Oh, I don't have PayPal. No, I mean, do you? I need to ask Reldex about it. I don't know if you need PayPal for that. Ow! I don't think you need PayPal for that. I don't know. I have to ask him. But yeah. I don't know, it's basically the only option that I found for tippings. Ew, hard. Stop! Why? Why are you guys doing this to me? Oh, burger. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me on this stream of tonight. Another Mercury's stream. Yes, that was the Monument Mythos Part 2. Very interesting. Hopefully we can keep watching this real soon. And for tomorrow, no, there's not gonna be roleplay again. I'm preparing the update of my model. It's almost finished, by the way. Yeah, you're gonna love it. So yeah. So thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so much, but not as much as Ivy. Barber. Glad to be here. Cool. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mark, for being here. I gotta rewatch to refresh my knowledge. Yeah, maybe, because you did miss a couple of things. Just a couple. Good night, y'all. Good night, everyone. And see you next week. We'll keep in touch. But see you till next stream, which is a Spanish stream. Next Monday is gonna be Si Te Ríes Pierdes. I know that fairies are sending me their most rotten reels ever. It's gonna be fun. You guys get to punish me if I lose. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Love you guys so much, and kisses on your buttholes. Bye bye. Don't clutch it, Zero Zone.